You're looking good. Let's all stand together. All right. Say with me, arise, shine, for the light has come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon me and you, and you and me. All right. Let's sing it together. I'll tell you what, before we do, why don't you find somebody to shake hands with, introduce yourself, and say hello to, all right? You're cracking your knuckles. To stop. All right, give somebody a high five or a fist bump, and then you may be seated.
Hey, good morning, Unity of Greenville. How are you this morning? Hey, for those of you that are tuning in via streaming, welcome. We're so glad that you're joining us this morning. Don't sign off. We have an exciting talk coming here in just a short few minutes with Reverend David Torres this morning, so stay tuned in. But before that, I want to let you know that today is a very, very important day.
Oh, what's that?
It's Wife Appreciation Day.
That's every day.
Hey, in addition to that, it's also National Cheeseburger Day, so it's a good day to have a cheeseburger. And lucky for us that it is also Rice Krispie Treats Day. Why do I say lucky for us? Because the YOU is having a bake sale this morning, and they just happen to have Rice Krispie Treats. So be sure and get one of those from the YOU bake sale.
And they are gluten-free.
And celebrate that this morning. How is everyone? Did you have a good week? Huh? Thank you. It's like some hesitancy in there, and that's okay. I mean, sometimes there is, but I hope you all had a good week. I would like for you to do something for me. Take out your phones, your mobile devices, and I would like for you to go to www.unitychurchofgreenville.org. It's a brand new website. And if you scroll down about halfway on the home page, you will see this lovely little box that says sign up for text alerts. We have text alerts now. And if you'll do it right now before you have a chance to forget, Starting in October, you can receive text reminders about events that are going on. If an event gets postponed or delayed or canceled, you'll get a notice about that. If there's anything that you just need to be in the know about, like right now, you'll get a text alert about it starting in October. So be sure and do that for yourself and do it for us. It helps us get the word out to you, and it helps you remember things, because I don't know about anybody else, but I don't always remember things. So do that for us this morning.
You did remember it was Wife Appreciation Day, though.
Well, of course, I remember the really important things. Okay, we got some warm weather coming, I heard, this week. So we're going to enjoy this beautiful kind of like fall-like day today. And we're going to think about being a blessing to people. How can we be a blessing to people? That's what our daily word is kind of a little focused on. It's about thoughtful. So let's take a nice deep breath. And the affirmation for this morning's daily word is, my kind thoughts and deeds are a blessing. So if you'd like to say that with me, my kind thoughts and deeds are a blessing. Today, I bring the love and peace of God to all of my encounters by being thoughtful. More than politeness and deeper than kindness, thoughtfulness means I consider the comfort and happiness of others equal to my own. My intention is to let those in my life know what they mean to me. I may reach out to someone who needs an encouraging word, letting them know they have what it takes to succeed. I may surprise someone with a kind act, anticipating a need and taking care of something for them before they have to ask. Each thoughtful word and act lets those in my life know how important they are to me and how worthy they are of my time and my attention. Take a nice breath of that. And Hebrews 13:16 reminds us, do not neglect to do good and to share what you have, for such sacrifices are pleasing to God. Reverend James, what you got for us?
Well, we are going to have the children come on up front at this time. If you would, just come on down and sit right here. Come on, there you go. All right.
They're used to going over there.
That's fine. Very good. God is, and I am. I create, and I pray, and I act on the truth that I know. God is, I am, and I create, and I pray, and I act on the truth that I know. There is only one God. There is only one Lord. All right, let's give the children a hand this morning. We love you guys. And we're going to send you off to your class now with a blessing. We love you. We bless you. We behold the Christ in you. We appreciate you. And we bless your teachers too. All right.
And you have a special announcement about the Uniteens this morning, right?
Yes, that's right. If you are middle school or have someone in middle school, we are now combining our middle school and high school together on the first and third Sundays right after the service, okay? And so what happens in that group is they have pizza together, and it is a way that we are, how many understand that we're reinventing ourselves right now, right? We're reinventing ourselves, and so we're rebuilding our children's program. And so if you have a middle schooler, bring them on the first and third, and you and your friend, your partner, your spouse, whatever, can go to lunch after the service and then come back and pick them up. And then you have an hour or hour and a half that you can have some date time, right? So anyhow, take advantage of that. And any other time that the children are welcome to come and sit in the service. I have people tell me all the time that their children enjoy sitting in the service because we like to make it fun. Tell the person next to you, say, we make it fun. Okay, all right, good. You're here on a good day today. We have Reverend David Torres all the way from, where are you? Tennessee, somewhere in the woods, in the sticks, and we're glad that he's with us today. Let's give him a hand as he comes.
All I know is Sunday and I'm supposed to be here because we have a reputation of moving around a little bit. I think we counted one time we moved 21 times in 20 years. How about that? So we moved, in 1 year, we moved twice, 2 times. 2 different years we moved twice in the same year. So anyway, how's everybody doing this morning? Yeah, you're looking great. It's so good to see a full house here again. We're back live and in person again. And one of the things that Susan and I have been saying lately as part of our mantra, part of what we want to acknowledge in a conscious way is that we live a blessed life. How many feel like you live a blessed life? Isn't that wonderful? Say that with me. I live a blessed life. Absolutely, absolutely. And if we can remember that, and then as we remember that, we acknowledge it because we see it. We see it. You know, when I woke up this morning, I got up and I was in James and Leah's home over here and went to the bathroom and looked out the window and I saw the beautiful pond or lake, whatever it is you call it. And I saw the beautiful trees and I saw the blue sky and I was reminded once again, I live a blessed life. And I am so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I think it's taken me a while over the course of my spiritual development to develop a consciousness of gratitude for all that goes good in my life. Does anybody else do that? Do you recognize every day all the gifts and all the presents and all the things that are available to you on a regular basis and acknowledge it and say, I live a blessed life? Do you? Oh, I tell you, it's got its own consciousness-generating effect. And that's what it's about, isn't it? It's really about changing our consciousness. Because, you know, I wasn't always this way. She didn't even know me when I wasn't, but, you know, there was a day where someone said, make a gratitude list. I'd say, what? What have I got to be grateful for? I got a miserable job, I got a miserable house, I got a miserable broken down car, you know, and what have I got to be grateful for? Anybody ever do that? Today, I could write a book. And what I want to talk to you about this morning is the secret of a gracious receiver. How we receive from the universe. And secret number 1, I've already talking to you about. Secret number 1 is gratitude. Gratitude, the power of gratitude. To be able to wake up in the morning and right now Susan and I are living in a 1-acre area in Tennessee on the Caney Fork River. And we have a screened-in porch and we get to go out there and sit and watch we have a red fox that we've seen lately. We've got wild turkey, we've got bluebirds, and we've got yellow finches, and we've got all of this beauty all around us, and we get to maintain it, and we get to keep the grass cut. We get to see the river rise and fall. We have a pontoon boat that's available to us. Now, I got to tell you, I didn't pay a dime for this pontoon boat, but it's available to us. He said, take it out anytime you want. It's a 2022 model, and it's brand new, and we just push it out from the dock and go down the river and enjoy the breeze. And I invested in a kayak, and I get in my kayak some mornings and just kind of float down the river a little bit. And I got to see a river otter the other day. that you don't get a chance to see very often. And it's just all of these different things that I'm so grateful for. And I feel like I'm living not only a blessed life, but I'm living an abundant life. Do you feel like you're living an abundant life? Lots of stuff, lots of plenty, lots of goodness all over the place, right? So we covered secret number 1. Guess what secret number 2 is? This is another thing that I had to develop. Secret number 2 to be a gracious receiver is self-worth. Now, how does that make any sense? Does that make any sense? But you know, really, if people offer you something, don't you have to have enough self-worth to accept it? How many of us at one time in our lives just said, oh, no, that's okay. Don't go to any trouble, Don't disturb, yourself. Don't go out of your way in any way. And it was like we were unworthy of their gifts to us. We didn't feel worthy enough to receive. And I had to get over that. I had to get over that for one reason, is that I've been a minister since 1997, and my whole livelihood comes from, my whole sustenance comes from being able to receive, right? Being able to say yes, being able to accept people's generosity and people's help. And that's another thing, when people want to help, to reject that help and say, no, it just doesn't seem right. But there was a time when I could give, and because you were worth it, and because you were worthy, and because you were worth so much more than me, I would give to you, but I wouldn't accept anything from you. Anybody ever do that? And this lady finally came to me one day and she said, David, you would give the shirt off your back to help someone else, wouldn't you? I said, well, yeah, if they needed it, I would. I could do without a shirt. And then she said, but if someone wanted to give you their shirt, you wouldn't take it, would you? I says, no, probably not. They probably need it more than I do. And then she said, well, tell me, David, how does it feel for you when you're able to help someone else? When you're able to offer a word or an ear or a ride somewhere or to do something with someone, how does that feel for you? And I says, well, I feel good. I feel like I'm contributing. I feel like I'm doing something right. I feel like I'm making a difference. And they said, well, then why would you deny someone else those exact same feelings by not accepting what they want to offer you? And I went, duh. Oh my gosh, I'm putting myself last. Have we done that before? We put ourselves last, everybody else comes first. I was putting myself last, and I wasn't taking care of myself, and I was probably getting a little burnt out, and I needed to shift my consciousness in a way to say, yes, I am worthy. I am worthy. Let's say that together. I am worthy. I am worthy of my good. I am worthy of my friendship. I am worthy of my relationships. I am worthy to have a nice place to live, to be able to eat nutritious food. I am worthy of all that comes my way as a blessing. Now, it'd be nice if I say I created all this, but it's not that I created it, but that I've developed a conscious awareness that allows it to come into my life. Does that make sense? It's like I'm not doing it, but it's like when the flower blossoms, it attracts the bee, and it attracts the hummingbird. And it doesn't have to do anything. It just has to sit there and open itself up and to receive. Doesn't that make any sense? So I learned how to be worthy. And what goes right along with being worthy, I'm not even going to call it secret number 3, but I'm going to call it secret number 2.5, is this idea of forgiveness. Oh my gosh. How are we going to really receive the blessings in our life when we're holding on to grudges, when we're holding on to anger and resentment? How do we really receive God's good if we don't cleanse ourselves and forgive others and forgive ourselves for what we've done, what we've thought, what we've said, what we've misinterpreted? So there's this whole idea, and we talk about it in church all the time, don't we? Forgiveness. Isn't that a common theme? Forgiving others and forgiving ourselves. See, it's hard to be judgmental when you're into a consciousness of forgiveness, because you're aware, oh, I'm judging. I got to forgive myself right away for that, because I got no business doing that, you know. We all make mistakes. We all do what we do for the reasons we do them. And so I don't need to judge or something. I was watching somebody the other day driving their car reckless, and I says, oh my gosh, you know, and I wanted to go back to my old thoughts of, oh, they're crazy, you know, what an idiot driver and all that kind of stuff. And then I remembered the time when I had to do that. And I had a sick baby in my back seat who had taken a bunch of pills, and I was trying to get this baby to the hospital, and I was driving like a madman, and I'm sure there were a lot of people who were saying that about me, but there was a reason, and I don't know other people's reasons. I don't live their lives. I don't live their stories, so I got to stay out of the judgment piece. Does that make sense? And it's hard to be a gracious receiver and to be open to our blessings if we're critical. Oh, I planted this potatoes, but the chipmunks got it, you know. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just saying things don't always go right the way we want them, right? And instead of just looking at what is working, instead of looking at what is blessing us, we have a tendency to go, woohoo! Oh man, potatoes didn't come up. Oh man, the squirrels got in the bird feeder. Right? They do. And they're so clever. We put this little cone up thing so they can't get up past it, but they knock it down. They find a way to knock it down. And we put it up again, and they continue to knock it down. They're very clever. But you get the idea. You get the idea, you know, and it seemed like in the old days, I'm going to say when I was growing up and our parents were teaching us our ways to grow up, I think that they thought that by pointing out our faults that we would get better, right? By pointing out what we could have done better, that this was their way of loving us. And they probably didn't realize that it was just really destroying our self-esteem, destroying our self-image, and keeping us guilty and shameful, and it wasn't very helpful. And when it finally dawned on me that this is what my dad was doing, there was nothing I could do to please him, because whenever I would see him, he'd always find out, oh, well, you know, your hair's messed up, oh, your button's undone, your shoes are not shiny. He'd always find something to pick on me about, right? Anybody have a father like that? Maybe you yourself do it. And I had to realize, oh, this is his way of loving me. It's not what I would prefer, but it's his way. I got to let him do his thing. And again, I had to go into that area, into that arena of forgiveness. Forgive myself for judging him and criticizing him, and forgive him for judging me and criticizing me. You know, and to realize that the only power he had over me was a power that I was choosing to give him. That when I took my power away and I took my power back, then it didn't matter what he said. It didn't matter what he picked on, because I realized that this was his stuff, through his filters, through his history, through his experiences. It's got nothing to do with me. Why am I taking it personal if it's got nothing to do with me? It's all his stuff. Does that make sense? Are you all with me still? Thank you, sir. Thank you. I got a head nod over there. So judgment and criticism, forgiveness, this whole idea of worthiness, and being able to say yes and thank you. How many of us are good people? How many of us are able to say on a regular basis yes and thank you when somebody offers you something? Can you say yes and thank you? Because that's a big key. That's a big key. We've got this guy who is very generous with us, and sometimes we think he's going overboard, but we get to see how much joy he has in being able to give. How much joy he has when he gives us a pontoon boat, when he gives us an ATV to use on the property, when he gives us he brought us railroad ties to make flower beds. He's doing so much because he loves the joy of having someone to give to. And I thought, all we need to do is say yes and thank you. So our daughter came to visit us the other day, and she had a little bit of money saved up and from different reasons, and she loves to buy us stuff. She buys us all these little knickknacks and all these little things, and she bought me an electric, personalized collar fan. You put it around your neck, you press the button, and air blows on you. I didn't ask for it or anything, but this is what she wanted to do. So we're driving in the car, and she says, we're talking about gardening and all this kind of stuff. She says, I want to buy you guys a composter. And I'm going, well, that's $100 or something, I don't know, sweetie. I'm not sure you really want to do that. And when I started to object to her getting us a composter, I could see her eyes change. I could see her energy change. I could see everything about her like, you're not going to let me buy you a composter? So I finally had to wake myself up a little bit and say, listen, sweetie, I just want you to know that if you get us a composter or not, if you get us one, I'm not going to love you anymore. And if you don't get us one, I'm not going to love you any less. I love you just the way you are. But if it makes you feel good and you want to buy us a composter, by all means, buy us a composter. Guess what we got? I'm telling you, a lot of our prosperity and a lot of our abundance and a lot of the reasons why we feel so blessed and why we continually wake up and our mantra is we live a blessed life is because of the energy that comes out of us and the energy that we're able to receive. We went to this lady who cuts our hair. Her name is Lachelle, and she's in the Cookville area, and we were going to see her before we moved out here. And then whenever we would go through Tennessee, we'd had an appointment with her, and we'd continue to get our haircuts. We were regular customers. And the other day, I got mine, and you didn't get yours, and so I came with you so that you can get your haircut. And I watched this lady work, and I said, no wonder we're hooked on this lady. She's got this fantastic energy. She sits you into the chair, and she gives you a shampoo. And you should see her smile, and you can see her energy. It's not like she gives you a shampoo to get it done so she get it in the chair so she can get out the door. No. She enjoyed it. It was part of her energy. It was part of what she gave out into the universe. And I'm watching her do her thing. I'm going, no wonder we've been coming to her all these years. Don't you know that it's really all about energy? It's about energy. And you all know it. If you're with someone who's happy and joyful and celebratory, doesn't it make you feel good? If you hear a bunch of people laughing, don't you want to laugh with them even if you don't know what it's about? It's the energy. And if someone comes in all depressed and, what a tough boy, do you feel the weight of that energy too? You feel everything just kind of slows down and bogs down. You can feel that energy change, right? And it's not magic, is it? It's very real. You can feel it. You can see it in people's eyes. You can see if their eyes are lit up or if their eyes are dull. You can see it in their energy and how they carry themselves. You can see, how many times have you seen someone and you say, oh, what's wrong? You want to talk about it? They don't even have to say a word. You just know to ask, what's wrong? Did you have a bad day? Do you want to talk about it? Because you can see it in how they just carry themselves. You can see it in who they are. You all know what I'm talking about still? Have I lost anybody yet? Are we doing okay? Are we happy to be here? Are we learning about being a gracious receiver? So what did we cover? Gratitude. We covered worthiness. We covered forgiveness. We covered being non-judgmental, non-critical. We talked about being able to say yes, thank you. All of these kinds of things, what does it all do for us? It changes our consciousness. we develop a consciousness of gratitude, a consciousness of receiving, a consciousness of being thankful, a consciousness of, oh man, no matter what's going on in the outer world, I'm having a good day. Has anybody ever done that? You know, the world's coming apart and everything's happening and stock market crashed and this and that, but I'm having a good day, right? The outer circumstances don't matter. Now, just so that we're clear, in the last couple of years, we've had some tragedies. I just want you to be clear. I just want to be clear. It's not like we're immune to it. Life happens, right? And we've lost 2 grandchildren in the last 2 years. That's grandchildren, 29 years old, both of them. And so we've had our ups and downs, right? But we've always been able to find that center of gratitude because we know that it works. We know that it's real. We know that it's part of our, if there was any other better choice that we could make, we'd make it. But that's the one that works. So you want to know the last secret of a gracious receiver? Tithing. Oh my gosh, tithing. What? Don't talk to me about tithing. Oh yeah, tithing. Because the energy of receiving is the exact same energy of giving. And if we're going to allow people to give, we need to be able to return it. I mean, it's just this cycle of giving and receiving, and it becomes so closely connected that it becomes one and the same. That if I feel good in giving to you, I'm getting something out of it. And so are you. The giving and receiving is benefiting both of us. So let me tell you some secrets about tithing, just so you don't get all excited. When I first heard about it, I said, nah, that doesn't make any sense. You know, the government already gets 10% right out of my paycheck. I don't need to give another 10%. Now it's more. At the time living in California, 10% was gone every payday. And so you learn to live without it. It's like you don't even earn that money, right? And so I said, I'm not going to give 10% to the church. 2. And then I heard that it didn't have to be 10%. My minister in California told me that if I wanted to give 5%, that would be okay too. And if I wanted to give 2%, that would be okay too. She says, take baby steps in this. Prove to yourself that it works. Don't take my word for it. You get the experience of it. And I thought, well, let me try it. And I started with 2%. And she says, but don't make it 2% like it's, well, I'm just going to give a fixed amount every week. I'm going to pay attention to my gifts. I'm going to pay attention to what I get in. I'm going to pay attention to those free lunches and free gifts and free meals that I get. I'm going to pay attention to what's going on in my life in terms of prosperity during the week. So I'm going to give 2% of whatever that number is. And it could change from week to week. So now I'm becoming a good steward of my resources. So there's another benefit right there. But that's not the one I'm going to talk to you about. There's even another one. And what is that? You know, after a while, you start to realize, oh, there is plenty. Oh, there is enough. Oh, I don't miss this 2% at all. As a matter of fact, it's starting to feel good that I can write this check every week. And I thought, let me try 5%. And I started tithing 5%, and it felt good. And I realized that nothing out here was really changing, but what was in here was changing. My attitude of gratitude was changing. My fears of not having enough were evaporating and leaving me. You know, my doubts and worries were starting to shift, starting to change. And I said, well, let me try 10. Just for the heck of it, we'll try 10%. We'll see what happens with that. And this is when I was making good money. Okay, I was working in California. I was at Aerojet. I was in management, so I was making a good salary. And I went up to 10%. And right at that time, I had this urge to go to ministerial school. I don't know what possessed me, but I had this urge to go to ministerial school. And I knew I was going to quit my job. And if I quit my job, I'd get nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just thank you for your service. Bye-bye. But in January of that year, 1995, they had their first layoff. They were offering management people a golden handshake to leave the company, to downsize. I got 26 weeks of severance pay. And when I say severance pay, I mean the full amount of what I was making when I worked. And, well, that included my vacation time, my sick time, all of it together, I got 26 weeks. And when I walked out the gate, I signed up for unemployment because I'd been laid off. And they said, yeah, this is how it works. I said, really? And they started sending me money. I gave myself a raise by leaving my job. Hadn't even been accepted in ministerial school. This was in January or February. Interviews were in March. And so I got ready and I went for interviews, and there's 50 of us that went, and I knew they were only going to accept 25. So that's 50-50 chance, right? And I kept on looking at this one. Oh, she's a shoo-in, you know. She wrote a book that's in the bookstore, and well, he's a shoo-in because he's married to the minister who's on the board, and well, they're a shoo-in, you know. And I was counting. I got up to 18. I started getting worried. Maybe I won't make it. And after my first interview, I knew for sure I wasn't going to make it. I just totally blew that one. I felt like I blew it. But I got myself rescinded, and I went up and I sat in the Charles Fillmore desk, and I wrote why I was there, and I wrote about all the people back home who were supporting me and wanted to see me make it and succeed. And I got myself back together again, and I did the second interview, and I think I made it by the skin of my teeth because I was one of the 25 who got in that year. Another blessing, right? And here's the deal. So now I've given up this job. I've got my severance. I've got my unemployment. I'm in ministerial school. The Western region donated $500 a semester for me to be in school. The church is giving me $200 a month to be in school. This other church that I used to go to in Auburn is giving me $200 a month. I get a house at the men's cottage that's $75 a month. What? I buy a car for Fifth Avenue Chrysler for $3,300 with the condition that at the end of my 2 years, he'll buy it back for $3,000 if I keep it in good shape and keep him to service it. So that's $300 for a car for 2 years. I'm telling you, all this abundance is coming, and I'm still writing those big tithe checks. I forgot I wasn't working. I'm writing these big tithe checks because that's what I'm used to writing. And I finally looked at it, and I was given 18 to 22% of my income back. And I was feeling so prosperous, and I was feeling so abundant, and I was feeling so blessed. And I would walk down Unity Village, down the sidewalks where the fountains are, and the bridge of, is it the Bridge of Hope or the Bridge of Faith, one of those two? And I'd walk on that, and I'd stand on there, and I'd say, wow, look what I've created. I said, if I had $1 billion and I own this place, how could I feel any different? How could I feel any more blessed? I says, see? It's free. It's like I own this place. I get to enjoy it just as if I owned it, right? So I took that consciousnness with me into malls and into different places. I own this mall. They built this mall just for me. And look at all the stores they've let me shop in and all that stuff. You see how the consciousness just changes and develops and whatnot? And I started to realize, like Leah said last week, it's not magic. It's not magic. It's a shift in consciousness. I remember we had this one program where we said, take this prosperity program, and if your life isn't more prosperous at the end of 8 weeks, 2 months, we'll refund you all your money. And of all the people who took the class that year, one lady said, I need my money back. And we knew that she took the class thinking that it was what she did and not the energy that she did it with, that it would create abundance in her life. And it didn't. Because she was doing it, I'm going to give to get back. I'm going to give with ulterior motives. I'm going to give because you promised me that if this doesn't work, I'll get my money back. So what have I got to lose? And because she didn't have a shift in consciousness, she didn't prosper any better. And we gladly gave her money back. But we understood what had happened. And then I realized, as that happened, that when I give unconditionally, with no expectation, how really it's not about the doing it or the giving it, it's about how it affects my consciousness. That's what tithing is all about. That's the secret of tithing. The secret of tithing is that we change our minds. You know, does God need your money? I don't think so. Does this church need your money? Well, yes. But, you know, they're going to survive, and they're good stewards of your money, so it's a good place to give if that's what you have. But who benefits the most from your tithing? Exactly. Because we allow that consciousness of freedom to give. We allow the consciousness of that joy to be blessed and to be able to give. You know, if I wanted to give you $50, you might say, nah, I don't want to be obligated to you. But if you gave $50, you would feel good about it. And this is the place where you could feel good about giving it. Does that make sense? So here's the deal. I want to wrap it up. It's been 30 minutes. Whew, that went by fast. This passage just kind of says it all to me. It's Luke chapter 6. Starts on verse 37. And this is what he says. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. We talked about that. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. We talked about that. Give, and it will be given to you. We talked about that. And he goes on to say, a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put into your lap. For the measure that you give will be the measure that you get back. Does that sound like a blessed life? Does that sound like a life worth living? Does that sound like a life of joy and happiness? Is that something that you want to, is that the kind of energy you want to bring into your family and into your community? You can do it. You can do it. You know? Gratitude, worthiness, forgiveness. Do not judge, do not criticize, and tithe. God bless.
Right. There's Jeff. And Chris is here today. Yeah. We're going to turn down the lights. I'm going to invite you to take in a good deep breath. And they're going to play some music and create some sounds. Let me just say, if you allow yourself to do it, you can let go of any tension that you have in your body. Because what does tension do? It creates illness. Tension creates upsetness. So take a moment just to relax and let yourself be and enjoy some healing sounds for just a few moments.
In this energy of peace, in this energy of love, in this energy that Jeff has helped us to create, let's take a deep breath and stay comfortable in our chairs. And I'll invite you to take this opportunity and take this moment to count your blessings. Yes, we live a blessed life. I am blessed with my home. I am blessed with my family and loved ones. I am blessed with good meals. I am blessed with a place to lay my head at night. I'm blessed to be able to come to a facility like this on 14 acres and be in this tranquil energy of peace and love. I am grateful for the ministers and the volunteers and all the work and all the energy that goes into keeping this place going and keeping it active, keeping it alive and relevant in this modern day world. So right now, as we continue to listen to this beautiful energy that's coming through this sanctuary, take a few moments in the stillness and in the quiet and just count your blessings and what you are grateful for just a few moments. again in this consciousness of love, in this consciousness of feeling our gratitude and our abundance. Let us give thanks to Holy Spirit. Let us give thanks to that Christ consciousness that is within each of us, that we can acknowledge and be grateful for all that we have, for all that we get to experience, for all the energies, for all the abundance. We say, thank you, sweet Holy Spirit. And so it is. Amen.
Yes, and thank you, Reverend David. That was beautiful. And musicians, thank you too. My name is Lori, and it is my pleasure to serve as your platform assistant this morning to make everybody aware of what we have going on in person and online this week and upcoming weeks. So I'm going to do this chronologically this time to try to help me remember too. Today, for instance, we have Eric Butterworth's Universe is Calling book that's going to be meeting here in the sanctuary after church. Lisa Munoz is going to be leading that class. It's a really interesting book discussion, I understand. And again, that's going to be here in the sanctuary after service today. We're going to have a moment to have our coffee fellowship and have a bite to eat and then come right back in here for that. Okay, so also on Monday, we're beginning our metaphysics class. It's a heart-centered metaphysics class. It begins on 9/26.
Yes, it's been delayed a week.
Very good, thank you. So that'll be next week. Mm-hmm. It'll run from 9/26 to 10/24, and you can learn more about that on our website. It's going to be a very interesting class. Also, starting on Tuesday morning, Leah is going to be offering in-house meditation at 10:30 a.m. We'll meet right here, and also on Wednesday, she'll be leading the metaphysics session at 6:30. All right, so I want to also remind you that we have a youth bake sale going on today. So I hope you brought lots of cash and going to support them to help them go to the rally. Also, we have a new website up. I hope everybody's been able to look at it. Leah did a beautiful job on it. Thank you, Leah. All right, so we also have lots of information on our website that Leah just did, and it has all of these events on it as well as ways to give. And lastly, we would like to see if we have any new member or any new people here with us today. We'd like to recognize you. Wonderful, welcome. Thank you for coming. We're so glad you're here, and I hope that you fill out a connection card so we can stay in touch with you. Thank you very much. Good.
Hey, can I just insert in here that what Chris and Jeff did this morning is totally unrehearsed. It's what comes together with them in the moment. I just want to let that be known. Yeah. So thank you, guys.
We were also excited to announce that our prayer chaplain service is back up and running, and we do have prayer chaplains here today to pray with you and hold sacred space with you. If you'd like, just meet us over here at the side of the stage after service. We'd be very happy to pray with you. You'll recognize us because we'll be wearing our stoles around our shoulders. Okay? So. Oh, we still have yard sale items for sale?
We do. We have yard sale leftovers out there, and they're half price. So go out and shop afterwards. Are we going to say, we don't have a final number yet on the yard sale. We're not completely done, but we did really well.
Good.
We did really well. So, yeah. Thank you to all of the, who helped with the yard sale? Can you stand up?
Wow, thank you, everybody.
Thank you so, 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 so much. And those that gave to the yard sale, yes, we got your stuff off, and still more out there today.
I also want to thank all the volunteers who made today's service possible, especially our musicians. Thank you very much. A big round of applause to everybody who cleans and takes care. And now we have an announcement from John.
I also wanted to say we're continuing the artisan basket raffle. These two beautiful baskets made by our member Jerry Maxey. We're raffling them off for $10 a ticket. We're hoping to sell 300 tickets. We've sold about 125 so far. You'll also, for the people online, you can donate you can buy raffle tickets online. If you go to the website, you can find the basket raffle site, and then you can submit your payment, and we'll send you a picture of your tickets. So we've sold some online so far, but we have opportunity to sell a lot more online, I think. So anyway, they're beautiful baskets, and you have a good chance of winning 1 in 150 if you buy one ticket. So anyway, his work is amazing. He's an award-winning artist and just amazing. Thank you. Tickets are available.
Thank you, John.
You can get tickets.
$10 a ticket.
And
Thank you.
also, if you're watching online, you can go to our website and you can get tickets there as well. All right. Thank you so much. I know we've had, so much going on, but that's because we've got a lot going on. Let's say it together. We got a lot going on. We got it going on, right? Absolutely. And so we're going to take a moment to receive our offering today. We really appreciate your giving because, in June we had a good month, and then July and August kind of went pretty far down, and we had to tap into our emergency fund. We need at least $15,000 a month in order to pay the bills, but our goal is $20,000. And so what Leah and we were talking about, he said, well, we need to do something. So we're going to give a special gift today of about $500 toward building up our emergency fund, build it back up in our account. And so I just encourage anybody else that would like to help us to be back where we need to be. If you'd like to give an extra amount, we really appreciate it. You can do it here, or you can do it online. Now, I did not discuss with David what to talk about. This was all synchronistic. There was no what do you call that? Well, commingling of energies or collusion. It just we are just spirit led here, and that's what it's all about. So Leah and we want to give an extra check today to help, and if you could do that, we really appreciate it.
Come up and get his check, Janet.
Much.
Right now. Come get it.
I've got it right here. Okay. All right. There's an extra $500 right there. Thank you. So we're going to, let's say together our affirmation. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all I receive, and all that I am. Tell the person next to you, say, thank you, God.
Thank you, God.
You're in the right place at the right time this morning.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. And I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome here.
All right. Want to say thank you to Jeff this morning.
Yes.
Absolutely. Then Chris King right behind me here. Thank you, Leah, for playing. And David, Reverend David, was a beautiful message today. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're so appreciative of all of the folks that gave to the yard sale. We had a successful, it was over $1,000 so far, but you're going to buy a little more today, right? So today is a day of prosperity. How many know that as you give, you what? Receive. You have to complete the circle. As you give, then it comes back to you. How did Jesus say? Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Yeah. That's a direct
I want to
quote.
quickly mention, several things have been said about us having a new website.
Yeah.
I want to encourage you to go there and check it out, explore it. There's a lot of new stuff that the website has now that our old site didn't have, including a blog, the ability to sign up for podcasts through Apple and Google Podcasts. It's the Sunday service, but it's without it's just the talk. So when you go to the website and you go to the lessons, all of the past lessons are posted. You have the option of watching the entire service on video, or you can choose the headphone icon and get just the talk. That's an option. You can do that. There's lots of fun stuff on there. I've built a page of resources if you want to, explore resources for inner peace or prosperity, those kinds of things. That's on there. It's a really rich, big website. So check it out. And don't forget to sign up for text alerts.
And if we would have paid a web designer to create this wonderful work, it would have cost us
$100,000. Oh.
That's at $25 an hour, which is cheap. About 250 hours to create it, and she donated it.
Yeah. Thank you, Leah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
you.
I want to thank all of our online people watching today. We appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of this. And thank you all for being here so much. Let's say together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. For wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Be good to yourself and about 10 other people, all right? We've got some snacks in the back. Introduce yourself to somebody. Say hello.